Hello everyone, this is Model Wings back with another unboxing. This is one of many unboxings from my haul I got Lowestoft on the 27th of May. The 29th was my birthday, and I built a few of them. Built my Grumman Duck. I started my Gannet, but I couldn't finish it because I accidentally fogged up the canopy. And I did the Lippish. I think that's it. And then I was just doing some work on the Zero. Just painting those wheel wells. Anyways, let's actually get on with the video. This. The havilland d.88 Comet. One of only 4 kits of the d.88 in 1/72. Now, Frog had one. KP does the only modern plastic one, but has a very short run feel. Airfix produced one back in the day, and it's really dated. I mean, there's no cockpit or anything. I don't mean there's no floor, I mean there's literally just one bit of plastic covering where it would be. And there's just 2 bobbles that are supposed to be heads. And then there's this resin one, I can't remember what the company is, but that resin one, I believe, is only 3D printable. So, if you want a plastic one, you want to get this. Unfortunately, you'd only really get on certain websites, such as Hannet's, because I went to go on eBay to get one of these. Nowhere to be seen, anyways. Just check all the sides. What's interesting is this one in the corner labels it being KP's 50th anniversary. Well, this is of 2018. So the kit is about 5 years old at this point, or at least this version. Then on the top they include one colour scheme, which is one we'll get back to later. So there are 3 versions you can get, and if you see KP box art, which has a painted photo instead of a 3D modelled one, it means it's either an old kit or it's shorter run. Now, I kind of regret getting this version. This is in RAF and Foreign Service. There was prototypes and races, and then there was the full races scheme. I like those more than this, because I thought it was white and silver, as I explained in my haul. But anyway, on the back we get shown the colour schemes. We get d.88 Comet E109, probably French Air Force in 1939. Aircraft tested for well, you guys can read that word because I'm not sure what that was pronounced, so I'm not going to. Something duties, unfortunately without success. d.88 Comet K5084, Royal Air Force 1939, aircraft tested by RAF in 1939, was painted silver during the tests. And then d.88 Comet CS AAJ, Portugal 1939, aircraft named Salazar, was flying in Portugal, painted black overall. My dad really likes this scheme. It is nice, but it doesn't really remind me of military. Also, this is a scheme that I think I'm buying it for, just because I didn't know for a while, but the d.88 was actually tested for RAF service. It was, as my grandfather was telling me, it's too narrow, it's too thin down the fuselage. Anyways, and as I was saying to him, if the Whirlwind had, not the Whirlwind, I mean the Whirlwind looks similar to this, but if the d.88 Comet had gone to service, There probably won't be any surviving examples, because usually military aircraft have less of a chance of surviving if they have no sort of significance or any success. So, the propellers, they're separate. Bit of a worry. Unfortunately, I want to build lots of these, but I can't build any of them until I do an unboxing, because if they're bad, I don't want to get another one. Now, something annoying, which is the French one. It has like small propellers. Well, it has a small prop on the end, which made me want to do it, but doesn't seem to be anything to tell me how to build that. Nor does it tell me that's actually the option. But then I can't remember where I saw it, but I looked for the French one, and it seemed like it just had the glass cone. Weird is they do provide 3 noses. One has like dimples, as if this like the pointy nose one, it's a rounded nose one. But I wonder if those are for little props, but it doesn't tell me that. Problem with the wings is, well, as you can see by the wing joint, it's just flat. There's no little piece or bar, there's just one flat bit. What I was just doing is using a good super glue. That's what I was personally using for lots of difficult parts. When I had a few struts on the Grumman Duck, I just super glued them all in. It just meant there was less risk of them snapping or dislocating, and there's no reason to mask them and damage them that way. So there is a bit of cockpit detail. Let's just look at the other one quickly. Nothing in the wheelbase. As I said, the propellers are separate. And the cockpit floor, actually, doesn't look too bad. Now, there is only 2 clip arts. Yes, 2 clip arts of this kit. And that's the one-piece canopy, which actually is accurate. Technically, you could probably have this one open, because, in fact, the plane, the canopy just is one big thing, and it sort of folds over to the side instead of it opening. It's very clear. There doesn't seem to be any scratches or anything. And the little clear cone, which will be needed for 2 or maybe 3, because they don't really tell us about the mini prop. So 3 other schemes probably need that, so make sure you keep that safe. And then of course all schemes will need the canopy. Anyways, let's leave the instructions till last. But wow, that's a big decal sheet. You can see how big. This for the British stuff. And then as you can see, this strap says Salazar, so these are for the Portuguese version. Might do that. Just spare Salazar. I don't know what this means. Is this telling us this is a spare if you break one? What? I mean, let's quickly check the box. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't tell us where that would go. it wouldn't really be able to go anywhere, because if the fuselage is all over black. Oh, I see. There's two Salazars there. I don't know if you can see them. But either if you break them, either if you break the decals or you want to paint them on, you've got some replaced ones. So that's pretty good. Then we have these ones for the French. Tail for the French. Oh. French roundels. British roundels. Yep, so basically, you got all the stuff here. Doesn't look too bad. Last, the instructions. Which, let's focus. Zoom in. So it only has 11 stages. So, the cockpit needs to be painted black. First stage, you put in a few levers. Then you put in the two seats, and then it just shows what it should look like complete. Then you get the control panel. They tell us where to put the control panels and a few of the other bits of stuff, like all the different gears. And we get, what is that? I'm not sure, but you put that on, and they tell you either got two choices of cones, but for some reason this shows the racing version on the box, so they're obviously probably talking about the racer. So you put either one of the cones in, which I don't think is true, but listen to the instructions if you want. Then you have the mud guard and stuff on the landing gear, and it tells you to make two of them at the same time. And you have the landing gear and the engine nacelles. They look alright, but I'm not sure how they'll fit on. I'm trying to make build videos of all of them, but at the same time, I'm not really enjoying making them, even if it's a few photos. So maybe I won't make one for this. But then you make the props, put on the elevators, and then we put on the landing gear, and it tells us we have two options of nose cone, and then finally put on the canopy and all these tiny little parts, and then it just shows you a finished diagram of the kit. And then if you want to refer to the paint schemes, they're here. Anyway, what do I think? Well, I mean, it's alright. It does feel short run. Most of the parts don't really have location pieces, and the box art is actually pretty better. But at the same time, I feel like there's a few sinkholes in places where it shouldn't be, and there's flash on the edges, but they're not too bad. It's more just like a extra bit of edge. The decals look alright, but all I've got to say is I've made KP before, and I've tried to do the fins, and let's just say they don't go on very well. I did the fin on the Sopwith Dolphin, and it ripped and it was oversized, so I painted it on. It looked much better. So if you're going to do this, you have an airbrush, and you feel brave enough, just try and do it by hand with an airbrush. I mean, I've got this. Actually, if you look, it's like the same width as one of these lines. So this is the tape to use if you want to mask off these tails, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Anyways, what's strange is I actually don't know which scheme I want to do. I want to do the French guy, I like the little propeller I've never done a French plane before, and I think it's interesting. I just like the bright red, but I ran out of red, and I do want to do the RF one because also it's just plain silver. It's kind of boring. It's kind of a significant version of the Comet, and the Portuguese one was interesting. You know, I'm just not sure about any of these colours. They're all just one colour each, and that's kind of boring. But anyways, I don't know which one I'll end up doing, but guess what? I might be doing something which I haven't done in ages, which is Model Mondays, a series which might sound like Monday Matters by Gary's stuff, but in fact, Model Mondays that I created predate his videos. So I might do Model Mondays, which is actually older than Monday Matters, which means I was the first one to do modelling on a Monday, or series. So anyways, I might be doing that. I'll probably be making it today, but revealing it tomorrow, so I don't know. I'll see you in that video if that comes out. So I'll see you soon. Goodbye, guys.